Hello everyone, and welcome to That Scene. Recently I came across an article on comicbook.com about Man of Steel containing an homage to Star Wars. It turns out to be the scene where Superman flies through a collapsing skyscraper in the Battle of Metropolis, and the Millennium Falcon's narrow escape from the Death Star in Star Wars: The Return of the Jedi. I was quite intrigued, so I decided to analyze both Man of Steel and Star Wars movies side by side for more comparisons, and to my surprise, I not only found multiple filming similarities but also plot similarities, which I will be discussing in this video. And for the purposes of structuring this video, I will be showing the similarities in the order as they appear in Man of Steel. Comparison number 1, Cryo-freezing. When General Zod and a small group of insurgents are captured, they are sent to the Phantom Zone for 300 cycles of somatic reconditioning, in order to remove deviant or undesirable behavior. But before that, they are put through a cryo-freezing process or something similar, rendering them immobile. This has never been done in the Superman's origin story, and it is very similar to when Han Solo gets put through carbonite freezing in Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back, although their uses were quite different. Comparison number 2, the destruction of Krypton. When Krypton destabilizes and explodes, the scene is shot in the same angle as the destruction of the planet of Alderaan in Star Wars: A New Hope, with both being in the left corner of the screen, as you will now see. Comparison number 3, origins. In Man of Steel, a young Clark Kent is taken by Jonathan Kent to the barn to show him the spaceship that he came to Earth with, and to talk to him about his origins and hand over the spaceship command key, which was originally meant to be a green crystal. This is similar to how Obi-Wan Kenobi talks to Luke about his origins and hands him the lightsaber. This comparison is a bit stretched out, so let's move on to the next one. Comparison number 4, Into the Sun. Once Superman dons his suit and red cape, he prepares himself for his first flight as he looks into the sun, absorbing its rays. The scene is similar to the binary sunset from Star Wars: A New Hope, as you will now see.
They will race behind you. They will stumble. They will fall. But in time, they will join you in the sun, Cal. In time, you will help them accomplish wonder.
Comparison number 5, Death of the Mentor. When a tornado strikes the town of Smallville, Clark is told by Jonathan to take everyone to the underpass, and Jonathan tries to rescue their dog who is stuck in the car. As the tornado approaches closer, Clark makes the intention to save Jonathan, but is told not to. Clark watches helplessly as his dad dies. This scene has some similarity to the death of Obi-Wan Kenobi in Star Wars: A New Hope. Both mentors disappear, and both Clark and Luke remain watching them pass away. Comparison number 6, The Surrender. When Clark realizes that General Zod is after him, he decides to surrender himself to the US Army so that they can hand him over to General Zod. And this is similar to the plot in Star Wars: The Return of the Jedi, when Luke decides to hand himself over to Darth Vader, as he knows that if he does not do so, then Imperial forces would destroy the Ewoks and their home planet of Endor, just to find him.
Why are you surrendering to Zod?
Comparison number 7, The Plans in the Pod. In Man of Steel, Lois Lane is given a plan on how to destroy the World Engine, a terraforming machine, by Jor-El. She then manages to leave the Kryptonian ship using an escape pod. This is very similar to the opening scene in Star Wars: A New Hope, when R2-D2 and CP3O escape in a pod with the plans on how to destroy the Death Star. To further augment on this similarity, We also find that the main threat in the movie is the destruction of the planets, and in both movies, Superman and Luke are the farm boys to save the day as symbols of hope. Comparison number 8. Loved ones in danger. When Superman saves Lois Lane, she tells him how she was unable to stop herself from revealing important secrets. And soon Superman realizes that his mother, Martha Kent, is in danger and flies away. This is very similar to the scene when Luke and Obi-Wan Kenobi come back from his hideout and realize that Imperial troops came looking for some droids. And suddenly Luke realizes that his family is also in danger because it was his droids that they were after. Comparison number 9. Interrogation. When General Zod gets to the Kent house in search of the Codex, he finds Martha Wayne and has Sub-Commander Feora interrogate Martha in a way similar to how Darth Vader interrogates a rebel fighter about the Death Star plans in Star Wars: A New Hope. Both characters are lifted off their feet and both are thrown away, as you will now see.
There.
Comparison number 10. Saving the Hope. When the military cargo aircraft with Superman's spaceship approaches the world engine to cause the Phantom Zone to open, General Zod attacks from the back and locks onto the aircraft, and as soon as he is about to fire, Superman comes and crashes into the ship, changing its course and causing the Kryptonian ship to miss. This is very similar to the ending scene in Star Wars: A New Hope, when Darth Vader closes in on Luke's X-Wing, and as soon as he locks onto the X-Wing and is about to fire, Han Solo interjects with the Millennium Falcon and causes Darth Vader to miss. I'm sure that there are many more comparisons, but these are the ones that seemed most obvious. And this goes to show that Zack Snyder is indeed a Star Wars fan, and that he tried to recreate certain elements from Star Wars in his Superman reboot. Man of Steel remains one of my most favorite superhero movies, and now that I notice these similarities with Star Wars, it is easy to see why. Thank you for taking the time to watch another episode of That Scene.